Good morning, sunflowers. It's Mrs Bevilacqua here and welcome to your number session for today. Before we start, go and get your learning pack. You're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil. And to begin with, we're going to practice writing our numbers. How many counters are in my tens frame? Pause the video now and count them all up. Okay, so how many counters were in the tens frame? Let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look at how we write number 5. So let's write a 5, just like that. Well done if you got that correct. Let's try this one. How many counters are in my tens frame now? How many counters were in my tens frame this time? That's correct, there were 8. Notice how there was 2 spots missing on my tens frame. There were 5 counters at the top and 3 counters at the bottom. I'm going to have a go at writing number 8. We start at the top and we go, start at the top and go all the way round. Number 8. Well done if you got that correct. How many counters this time? That's correct. There are 10 counters in my tens frame. We know this because it's all full up. Every space has a counter. There are 5 yellow counters and 5 red counters. Altogether, that makes 10. I'm going to write number 10 right there. It's a 1. And then what comes next? A 0. Well done. 10. Today, we're going to be learning how to describe amounts by saying which amount has more and which amount has fewer or fewest. And to be able to do that, you need to know that more means most and fewer means less. More and most means the biggest and fewer and less means the smallest. You also need to know your numbers 1 to 10, which you do know, and you need to be able to count objects carefully. Today we are continuing our learning on more and fewer. Take a look at the middle box. I have put a number card. What number is it? That's correct, it's number 6. In the box next to it, I've got the word fewer. And on the other side, I've got the word more. Can everybody point to the box that says more? Or. Well done. And point to the box that says fewer. Fewer. Lovely. Fewer. And what I'm going to do in a moment is I'm going to show you some dominoes and you have got to decide whether there are more than 6, and if it is, it goes in the more box. And if you think there is less spots on my domino than number 6, then it goes in the fewer box. Let's try the first one. Can you see the first domino? Remember, I want you to count the spots and you need to decide if it's got more spots than number 6 or fewer spots than number 6. Pause the video now and count the spots. Did you get it? There were 8 spots on the domino. 8 is bigger, it's more than 6. So it goes in the more box. Well done. Now let's try this one. How many spots are on the domino? Do we think there are more spots than number 6 or fewer spots than number 6? Pause the video now so you can work it out. That's correct. There are 3 spots on the domino. There are 2 spots on one side and 1 spot on the other. Altogether, that makes 3. 3 is fewer than 6, so it goes in the fewer box. Well done. Now, let's try this one. Take a look at the new domino. How many spots are there all together? Does this domino belong in the fewer box or the more box? Does it have more spots than 6? Or does it have fewer spots than 6? Pause the video now so you can count up the spots and decide where to put it. That's correct. There were 9 spots altogether on my domino. There were 4 spots on one side and 5 spots on the other. Together, that makes 9. 9 is more than 6, so it belongs in the more box. Take a look at this domino. Remember what you have to do. You have to count the spots and decide if it's fewer than 6 or more than 6. Pause the video now. Did you work it out? There were 6 spots on my domino and I tried to trick you. It doesn't go in the fewer box and it doesn't go in the more box. It goes in the box that contains the number 6 card because it's exactly the same amount. Let's try this one. You know what to do. Count the spots and decide if it's fewer than 6 or more than 6 or it is 6. Pause the video now. How many spots were on my domino? That's correct, there were 2. There were 2 spots on my domino. 2 is fewer than 6, so it belongs in the fewer box. This is the last one. Count the spots and decide if it's fewer than 6 or more than 6. Pause the video now. How many spots were on my domino? That's right, there was 10 spots on my domino. Well done. There was 4 spots on one side and 6 spots on the other. Altogether, that makes 10. 10 is more than 6. So it belongs in the more box. Well done. Now it's your turn. What I'd like you to do is choose a number and write it in the middle box. And then what you've got to do is you can either roll the dice or use dominoes or ask a grown-up to say a number, and you've got to say if it's fewer than the number you have chosen or more than the number you have chosen. Don't forget to share your work with us in school. It's always lovely to see all the work you've been doing at home, and I know lots of you have sent work in already. You can do this either via WhatsApp to the school mobile. You can email me and send a photograph of any of your work, or you could post it in our new post box outside school when you're out on your daily walk. I look forward to seeing your hard work. Bye-bye.